The committee's study of the Central Intelligence Agency's Detention and Interrogation Program is a report compiled by the bipartisan United States Senate Select Committee on Intelligence about the Central Intelligence Agency's Detention and Interrogation Program and its use of torture during interrogations in U.S. government bulletins on detainees in CIA custody. The more than 6,700-page report, including 38,000 footnotes, details the history of the CIA's detention and interrogation program and the committee's 20 findings and conclusions. On December 9, 2014, the SSCI released a 525-page portion that consisted of key findings and an executive summary of the full report. It took more than 5 years to complete. The full unredacted report remains classified. Today's summary: CIA Contractor recommends continued use of the CIA's enhanced interrogation techniques against Al-Nashiri. On January 2003, CIA Contractor Dunbar arrived at Detention Site Blue to conduct a psychological interrogation assessment to judge Al-Nashiri's sustainability for the additional use of the CIA's enhanced interrogation techniques and develop recommendations for his interrogation. The resulting interrogation plan proposed that interrogators would have the latitude to use the full range of enhanced exploitation and interrogation measures, adding that the use of the waterboard would require additional support from fellow CIA contractor Grayson Swigert. According to the interrogation plan, once the interrogators had eliminated Al-Nashiri's sense of control and predictability and established a desired level of helplessness, they would reduce the use of the CIA's enhanced interrogation techniques and transition to a debriefing phase once again. After receiving the proposed interrogation plan for Al-Nashiri on January 21st, 2003, the CIA's chief of interrogators, whose presence had previously prompted Al-Nashiri to tremble in fear, emailed CIA colleagues to notify them that they had informed the front office of Counterterrorism Center that he would no longer be associated in any way with the interrogation program due to serious reservations he had about the current state of affairs and would instead be retiring shortly. In the same email, he wrote, "This is a train wreck waiting to happen, and I intend to get the hell off the train before it happens." He drafted a cable for CIA headquarters to Detention Site Blue, raising a number of concerns that he, the chief of interrogations, believed should be entered for the record. The CIA headquarters cable, which does not appear to have been disseminated to Detention Site Blue, included the following: "We have serious reservations with the continued use of enhanced interrogation techniques with Al-Nashiri and its long-term impact on him. Al-Nashiri have been held for 3 months in very difficult conditions. It is the assessment of the prior interrogators that Al-Nashiri has been mainly blank." The draft cable from blank also raised conflict of responsibility concerns, stating, quote, "Another area of concern is the use of the psychologist as an interrogator. The role of the ops psychologist is to be a detached observer and serve as a check on the interrogator to prevent the interrogator from any unintentional excess of pressure which might cause permanent psychological harm to the subject. The medical officer is on hand to provide the same protection from physical actions that might harm the subject. Therefore, the medical officer and the psychologist should not serve as an interrogator, which is a conflict of responsibility. We note that the proposed plan contains a psychological interrogation assessment by blank psychologist Dunbar, which is to be carried out by interrogator Dunbar. We have a problem with him conducting both roles simultaneously," end quote. Rather than releasing the cable that was drafted by blank, CIA headquarters approved the plan to reinstate the use of the CIA's enhanced interrogation techniques against Al-Nashiri, beginning with shaving him, removing his clothing, and placing him in a standing sleep deprivation position with his arms affixed over his head. CIA cables describing subsequent interrogations indicate that Al-Nashiri was nude and at times put in a standing position, handcuffed and shackled. According to cables, CIA interrogators decided to provide Al-Nashiri clothes to hopefully stabilize his psychological symptoms and prevent them from deteriorating, noting in a cable the next day that Al-Nashiri was suffering from a head cold, which caused his body to shake for approximately 10 minutes during an interrogation. Beginning in June 2003, the CIA transferred Al-Nashiri to 5 different CIA detention facilities before he was transferred to U.S. military custody on September 5, 2006. In the interim, he was diagnosed by some CIA psychologists as having anxiety and major manic depressive disorder, while others found symptoms of either cell. Over a period of years, Al-Nashiri accused the CIA staff of drugging or poisoning him and his food, and complained of bodily pain and insomnia. At one point, Al-Nashiri launched a short-lived hunger strike that resulted in the CIA force feeding him rectally. In October 2004, 21 months after the final documented use of the CIA's enhanced interrogation techniques against Al-Nashiri, an assessment by CIA contract interrogator Dunbar and another CIA interrogator concluded that Al-Nashiri provided essentially no actionable information, and that the probability that he has much more to contribute is very low. Over the course of Al-Nashiri's detention and interrogation by the CIA disseminated 145 intelligence reports based on his debriefings. Al-Nashiri provided information on past operational plotting, associates whom he expected to participate in plots, details on completed operations, and background on Al-Qaeda structure and methods of operation. Al-Nashiri did not provide the information that the CIA's Alex station sought and believed Al-Nashiri possessed, specifically perishable threat information to help CIA thwart future attacks and capture additional operatives.
Today, I'm not really interested in whether you believe those techniques were legal, but I am interested in the question that Senator Warner asked you. We got a very legalistic answer to that question. Let me ask you again, were these the right thing to do? Are they consistent with American values, fundamentally? What do you believe?
Senator, I believe very strongly in American values and America being an example to the rest of the world. That is why I support the fact that we have chosen to hold ourselves to a stricter moral standard.
But that's about Congress and all of us. I want to know what you think.
I think that we should hold ourselves to a stricter moral standard, and I would never allow CIA to be involved in coercive interrogations.
Where was that moral compass at the time?
Senator, that was 17 years ago, and it's, you know, CIA, like the U.S. Army and the U.S. Marine Corps, is an organization. It's a large bureaucracy, and when you're out in the trenches at far-flung outposts in the globe, and Washington says, here's what we need you to do, this is legal, the Attorney General has deemed it so, the President of the United States is counting on you to prevent another attack.
It was legal.
I'm sorry?
I know you believed it was legal. I want to see, I want to feel, I want to trust that you have the moral compass that you said you have. You're giving very legalistic answers to very fundamentally moral questions.
Senator, that we've provided the committee every evaluation since my training report when I first joined in 1985. In all of my assignments, I have conducted myself honorably and in accordance with U.S. law. My parents raised me right. I
right.
know
So let's-
the difference between right and wrong.